We're asking the question of the seller. Can I ask you why you're moving? The purpose of asking this is looking for motivation and the timing. Can I ask why you're moving? We're downsizing, we're getting divorced, we're relocating. This is a great question to get exposure as to what their intentions are. As I said before, there are housing questions. Is there a master bath? Is it separate tub and shower? Is it a 3-car garage? Those are features and housing questions. Situational questions are what we're really after. Can I ask you why you're moving? And they're going to tell us, usually, that again, it's a divorce, it's a relocation, we just had a baby, and we need a bigger home, whatever the case. We're building a home. We relocated, my spouse already moved to Pennsylvania, we got to go there. It's amazing the information you get out of somebody if you're asking the right questions. We're just testing the waters. I talked to a lender recently, and the seller, within the first minute of the call, said, we're just testing the waters to see if we can get our price. What are the odds that that property's priced right? And he'll probably never sell, which means he'll never do a loan. When somebody says we're just testing the waters, usually means, and that's admitting we're too high. Trying to do, again, sift these people out. Let's just not pursue those people and talk them into even chatting with you about a loan when somebody's clearly not motivated, not objective. We're listening for sense of urgency. Those that have a sense of urgency automatically have a checkbox yes to continue to pursue them. Once we start finding people that have no sense of urgency, we almost want to get off the phone as fast. Wish you all the best. That's great. So let me go on to this next part here. It's in your script. The nature of the following question usually reveals why they are moving and where they're moving to. So here's what the question is. Mrs. Potential New Client, I have a question for you. As a lender that often works with the buy owners, if I know of a buyer or know of an agent that has a buyer that needs to be in a home in about 3 or 4 weeks, should I tell them about your property, or is that time frame too short for you to make a move? Let me read that again. Mrs. Potential New Client, I've got a question for you. As a lender that often works with buy owners, if I know of a buyer or of an agent that has a buyer that has to be in a home in about 3 or 4 weeks, should I tell them about your property, or shall I tell them to pass? That's a great question regarding motivation. I had feedback recently from a lender who asked that question, and the seller said, there's no way we can move in that time frame. Clearly showed no motivation. Because the question is, if I have a buyer who's going to pay your price, who's pre-approved, that needs possession in 3 or 4 weeks, what would you do? Well, Brian, we don't know where we're going to go next. If we don't know where we're going to go next, you're going to find that's usually the nature of the seller who overprices their listing. And the MLS, with real estate agents, is full of inventory of sellers that would become buyers that have no idea where they're going to go next. But the agent has them listed. Now that's where the problem is. Why does the agent have it listed when the house is clearly overpriced? And remember, the agent is your extended sales force. Every realtor that works with your buyers, your future buyers, is your extended sales force. And your extended sales force has overpriced listings that are never going to sell with that agent because the property's overpriced. I don't care how many buyers they have. If their listing's overpriced, they're like part-time jobs that do not pay. Every listing and every buyer should be part-time jobs that pay. And when we don't ask the right more questions to get more information, we just get employed by all kinds of people, these part-time jobs that don't pay. So right out of the gate, we've got to test motivation. It's a great question. I've been asking this for decades with people, and my clients have been asking it. It's one of those really fast questions to identify motivation, and that again is, hey, if I got you your price, but somebody needed possession very quickly, what would you do? You've got to listen very closely to their answer and check a box. Motivated, not motivated. Because we're not going to speed up their motivation. We have to expose it. All right, let's go on to the next question.